I'm working on some vintage Christmas card ephemera today. Come on in. Hello everybody, it's Julia Laird with Senior Susie Stamps, and I'm glad you came to visit with me today. I decided I was going to make some vintage theme Christmas cards today. And so I was looking in my stash for some vintage ephemera and I couldn't really find any. So I took a lace doily that was white and I used some of my burnt umber spray on it. And then I printed some ephemera off the computer onto copy paper and glued it up onto the heavyweight white paper with my glue stick. Let me show you what the two that I printed look like. Here's one, and then here's the other one. Now I printed 3 of this one, and I only printed 1 of this one. Now I went back and printed a copy so that I could show you, but when I did the original print I only printed the one. And the reason is because there's duplicates of here, and in the smaller sizes it duplicates the larger sizes, and I didn't think I needed that many of them for this year's Christmas cards. So let me show you what I've done with those. Well, here's a card that I made with some of that ephemera that I cut, and I used my circle punch and I fussy cut this one, and then of course I foam taped between them. And as long as you have some element of the top layer that matches up with the bottom layer, your brain just works with it for some reason. I don't know why, but in this one the element that I used was this little kind of turquoise stripe in her little jacket there. So, and here's another one that I used that heart for. Now this is a triple layer, and again I fussy cut this, and then I used my punches for these two, and I just darkened the edges on them to get rid of that white. And I used a little bit of this lacy ribbon. I used a RB1 Spectrum Noir pen to add just a little color to that ribbon because I didn't really care too much for the color on it. But so that's that. Now let me show you a little bit about, oh wait a minute, I also added some music notes to that lace doily. You can see the difference there. Let me show you a little bit about these folks here, because you can tell here on the element the ivy comes through, and the little holly berries here kind of pull through together. And so see how nice that is in the decoupage on it. It doesn't have to be the same size. And let's look at all of these. There's a nice little Christmas Santa, and here's a smaller one, so I'll make that one up. Here's one with bells, and I think there's a smaller one, and then a third smaller one with bells. Now on some of these I will only put 2 together and then put the smaller one on the inside, and that's probably what I'm going to do with this one. So let's go ahead and get that made. These are really simple to make, and because they are printed on copy paper and then glue sticked onto the heavier cardstock, it makes a really nice feeling embellishment. So on this one I'm going to put these little red pieces here together and then just let it work. It's magic, and you can see how nice that is. And then this one will go on the inside as an inside embellishment. The rabbits had 3, and I was going to put the third one in with that, but then I decided I didn't like it, so this one's already foamed up. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that at some point. Now on this Santa, there's 3 of that one as well, and I'm thinking maybe like that is the best way to do that one. Let's foam him up. I don't do much with printables, but having had this experience today, I think I may do a little bit more. And the reason is because I live about 45 miles from a craft store. So most everything that I have to get, I either order online from Amazon, and you know, you just kind of wonder what you're going to get at that point. But if you're looking for something to print online, it just kind of makes it easy, doesn't it? Let's see, now here's another bells. So we'll do something with that. Now, let me show you these other ones that I printed. These I glued up, and instead of fussy cutting, I used a die to cut them. And you can see those. It is this page here. I will put a link to both of these in the description box below, so y'all can look at them if you want to. But I'm going to decoupage these. So I printed 3 and glued them all up. Let's start with this one because I've got it. Well, let me show you this one first, because you can see I used my circle punch here, but then I fussy cut the little deer. And see what a nice embellishment that makes? Now, I did the same with my little snowman here. So I fussy cut these 2 pieces, and I circle die cut this one. So I'm going to glue this up. Well, I'm going to put foam tape on it. And place him right on top of the other piece that matches. Twice, and get that little decoupage effect going. You get my tweezers here. One thing I did with these is to use kind of a medium gray alcohol marker and go around the outside. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's there. You have to kind of make up your mind whether or not you're going to circle cut or fussy cut. And in this one, who could help but fussy cut him? He's just adorable. So there he is. And there's lots of dimension there, but he doesn't stand up too tall. And there's some good structure there on him for a card. Now let's see. On these 2. Okay, found what I was looking for. Stuff kind of grows legs every once in a while in my studio and disappears on me. So on this one, I think I'm going to do a little circle cut of just the snowman. And this is the bigger punch, so we'll just get what we get here. So there's the first one. And we'll layer him in. And then I'm thinking I may just go ahead and fussy cut the actual snowman himself. So now I'm looking for little borders of things where we can kind of pull it together, and I think that's it. Now I have a third one here somewhere. There he is, right here. And I'm just going to do a real easy little fussy cut on him, and maybe I'll just do the top of him. Come right around that holly. And get his hat. But you can see how you can make really nice ephemera off of these little printables, even if you print them on copy paper, which is what I did because my printer is not sophisticated enough. I want to put a little gray ink on him. And I'm not using a dark gray. This is 03, so it's a little bit down the gray chain, but it's not a dark color. And all that does is take that white border away. And get a little small piece of foam for him. And we'll see what he looks like. Now, I've got one more thing I want to show you today that I'm working on. And I'll finish these up. We'll probably look at some of these on Thursday when we're doing scrap cards. But I'll finish these up. But you get the general idea. But looky here what I've got. Now, I told you I went ahead and printed these again. Now, I have run these through the laminator because I decided that I wanted some shiny ones and I didn't want any brush strokes on them. So I put the two pieces of copy paper back to back inside a laminate pouch and ran it through the laminator. And now I'm going to cut around the edge so that I can separate it. And now I have perfectly laminated ephemera that I can glue up onto heavier weight paper and fussy cut. Let's take a look at this. The larger the circle for me, the easier it is to fussy cut. Circles are a little challenging. I tried to cut these on the Scan and Cut, but the line is not specific enough for the Scan and Cut, and what was happening is I was getting a little jagged cut around the outside that looked pretty pitiful, and that's why I used the cutting die on the original ones on this particular bunch here. But there you go, and they're nice. These are really pretty. And we can take a little pen, I think. Let's try a green one since it's a green. This may be just a little too light, but it's all right. We'll see. Yeah, that's going to color the paper on the back side and do just fine. And all that does is give you a little extra color punch there. And it kind of finishes your fussy cut, if you will. So I'm getting ready to cut these out as well, and I think I may actually go back and do a little decoupage on these, maybe run another set of them and see how it looks with the shiny side out. So look for some of these in the future in my card making, but I wanted to show you what I was working on today, and I hope y'all have a great day. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.